It was a crisp autumn morning in New York City, the kind where the sun peeked through golden leaves, casting warm hues across the bustling streets. Inside her magnificent mansion, Taylor Swift was preparing for what she expected would be a day filled with creativity and inspiration. With an album in the works and a busy schedule ahead, she was eager to tackle her to-do list. As she brewed a fresh pot of coffee, the aroma filled the air, mingling with the sweet scent of cinnamon from the apple pie she had baked the night before. She often found solace in the kitchen, a space where she could escape the whirlwind of fame and simply be herself. Today, however, would take an unexpected turn. In her haste to grab a jar of honey from a high shelf, Taylor lost her balance. The jar slipped from her grasp, shattering on the floor. In an attempt to steady herself, she stumbled back, her foot catching on a loose rug. Time seemed to slow as she fell, the world around her fading into a blur. A sharp pain shot through her as she landed, and instinctively, she cradled her belly. Moments later, her assistant, who had just arrived, rushed into the kitchen. Panic gripped her heart as she found Taylor on the floor, clearly in distress. Without hesitation, she called for an ambulance while kneeling beside her friend, trying to keep her calm. "Taylor, breathe. Help is on the way," she reassured, though her own voice trembled. The sound of sirens filled the air, cutting through the tranquility of the morning. As paramedics arrived, they swiftly assessed the situation, taking care to ensure Taylor was stable. With gentle hands, they lifted her onto a stretcher, the weight of uncertainty heavy in the air. At the hospital, the atmosphere was tense. Taylor was whisked away for examinations, leaving her assistant in the waiting room, pacing and wringing her hands. News of the incident quickly spread, sending waves of concern through social media. Fans, friends, and fellow artists flooded platforms with messages of support, praying for Taylor and her unborn child. Hours felt like days as her assistant waited for updates. Finally, a doctor emerged, his expression serious yet calm. "Miss Swift is stable," he began, "but she needs to be monitored closely. The fall could have serious implications, especially given her pregnancy." Relief washed over her assistant, but the worry remained. "Can you tell me more about the baby?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "The initial scans show that the baby is fine, but we will need to keep her here for observation," the doctor replied. "We want to ensure everything is as it should be." As Taylor lay in her hospital bed, she couldn't shake the anxiety that gripped her. Thoughts raced through her mind, her career, her music, and most importantly, the little life growing inside her. She had dreamed of this moment for so long, and the thought of losing it was unbearable. Her phone buzzed with countless messages. Friends like Selena Gomez and Ed Sheeran reached out, offering their love and support. But it was the heartfelt messages from her fans that touched her the most. They spoke of hope and resilience, reminding her that she was never alone. Days passed, and Taylor was eventually released from the hospital with strict instructions to take it easy. The experience had shaken her, but it also ignited a fire within. She realized how much she wanted to share her journey, not just through her music but through her life. Back home, she poured her feelings into songwriting. Inspired by the strength she felt from her supporters, she began crafting a new album that spoke of love, hope, and overcoming challenges. Each note resonated with the emotions she had experienced, turning her pain into art. As her due date approached, Taylor embraced the changes in her life. The kitchen that once felt like a sanctuary became a place of celebration, filled with laughter and the anticipation of new beginnings. She often found herself humming the melodies she had created, imagining the sound of her child's laughter echoing through the halls. In the end, that fateful morning became a turning point in Taylor's life, reminding her of the fragility of life and the strength of love. Surrounded by friends, family, and fans, she stepped into motherhood with open arms, ready to embrace whatever came next.